Do you know a story of Brother Lawrence? I think he lived perhaps in 17th century or somewhere around there in France, living in ministry, and he had work to do in the kitchen. In China, he was doing the job at the kitchen too. And whatever the case is, this story or the story kept by someone about Lawrence's word was found in the Daisetsu's book, Suzuki Daisetsu's book. And I was impressed because Brother Lawrence was always living with God. So he had a dialogue or the sense, I don't remember specifically. I will have to look up if I can find my book from Daisetsu. I was cooking, doing the stuff, the thought popped up. And that came with the phrase by Kierkegaard, subjectivity is truth. Again, Daisetsu mentioned on that one, but he didn't say specifically what it may mean. He didn't describe that, but my take of that word, subjectivity is truth, is that the subjectivity is like a connection to the heart or God even. And that is most likely, given the Kierkegaard life in that time period, perhaps again, I don't know, 17th centuries or somewhere there, maybe 18, maybe 19th century. Yeah. And the subjectivity is an interesting word. Direct experience is a subjective experience. It's within. And what goes on in your mind is objective. So there's a saying, shukyaku goitsu in Japanese. Subjectivity and objectivity is one. That again is typical Zen paradox saying. And I get that. What I mean is subjectivity, heart, and objectivity, mind or brain, is one. Typically, that's not the case. That's why Kierkegaard had to say subjectivity is truth. Because it's beyond the logic and word and differentiating A and B and C and D and comparing. It's just a subjective experience. So if your mind is calm, quiet, in samadhi, and connected to the heart at the deep level, then that subjectivity is just a way of nature coming up. Or perhaps Kierkegaard said it's God. So I equate God being infinite wisdom and compassion being found in the laws of nature, laws of universe. That's everywhere. And with that we are born, and at the level of samadhi, we can connect to the heart and find wisdom and compassion. So, well, maybe this is my typical consulting experience, putting the experience in word and trying to explain. But explaining itself doesn't carry the weight. It has to be subjectively or internally felt as a direct experience. So Kierkegaard was saying in Zen-like fashion, this is it, subjective truth. If you don't get it, you don't get it. But if you align and connect with the heart, the person who can do that, does that. understand the meaning of it. And when it comes to subjectivity and objectivity one, that's a little bit more than just subjectivity is truth. Now we have the brain and heart. But being one indicates alignment so that if you are and when you are in the state of subjectivity is truth, which is samadhi state of being, and relating to Brother Lawrence connection to or the talk with the God all day long, it's the same of that subjectivity manifesting, but also in the mind, which indicate the word subjectivity and objectivity being one is that you can't use your brain or mind aligned to your heart. So it's with wisdom and compassion. Now, I think I said experience of Brother Lawrence and the Zen expression and Kierkegaard view of the subjectivity. So they are pointing pretty much the same, except subjectivity and objectivity being one is a little bit higher level to connect backward with your brain, as if coming out of the Garden of Eden, and still you can be using your brain, but not to be used and confused. Anyway, what I just said may not make sense, but it's because it's all like a koan. Living with God may sound like unthinkable, but if you are experiencing the presence of God in the now, instead of separating from you to God, the same as you being in samadhi, and the rest is the same. Subjectivity is truth, cannot be understood merely in your mind, but in the state of being. That's only when you can get the meaning of subjectivity is truth. So talking about it is not it, unless it has a power coming from the heart to indicate. And the listeners get the sense of, that's right, kind of a intuitive sense or experience. Then all the talk may have meaning or accomplished its mission to point out what that state is. Like samadhi. You can talk forever about samadhi, but unless we practice it, it's just words in the sky. It's not lived and even felt in your body. That's a subjectivity. So, I said this, that if you have those words or encounter with Brother Lawrence or Zen saying or Kierkegaard, it's not the word, it's what the word is pointing to. So, be it. If you're curious, explore that. If you already know it, live with it. If you don't know what we're talking about, you can send me a comment, what you think, or how you feel, or whatever. or just ignore it, or just pass by. I like to say that today, my birthday at 77, so for some reason, these ideas popping up from everywhere, pointing that now is the time, this every moment. It may sound like I'm bullshitting, but it doesn't matter. It can be a bullshit or it can have some meaning. And for me, subjectivity is what I'm at. And hopefully, objective part of explaining or sharing may have some meaning. It may not. Then I'll talk with the tree branches out there. And this silence, the nothingness, and peace, the sense of being eternal home, presence of God. Even that word may have the meaning as a subjective experience. Thank you. Have a good day.